Welcome to another episode of DSF on YouTube. Now, to my regular viewers, you know I'm always bringing the latest products, the latest vehicles to your attention. Now, this, I'm sorry, but you might think that this is an old product. It's not. I know you might think that this is a British 4x4 that has been around for the last couple of years. You might also think that this is a legendary brand that is now being revived as such. I think you're wrong, and I'll tell you why you're wrong. Because you're just looking at the back of it, and when I put this auto tailgate down, you'll realize that this is the brand new J5 from Jaecoo, which was launched just very recently. So what I mentioned earlier in the last 5 minutes, look at the slim tail lamps, the tight protruding rear roof spoiler, the rear pillar here, that little glass area, that whole rear end from the side view. You can't help but mistake this for the Range Rover Evoque, especially the recent Range Rover Evoque, which was launched a couple of years ago. But it's not the Range Rover Evoque, like I already told you. This is Jaecoo, and Jaecoo, which is part of the Chery Group, has redefined the way we think or look at SUVs and crossovers. Why? Because a lot of people will say, oh, they've got the lines of the Range Rover Vela in the bigger ones, the Range Rover Evoque in the smaller one. This J5, of course, it is not as big as the Range Rover Evoque, but this J5 has got all the lines ready for you to say, hey, I removed the badges and put a Jaguar Land Rover or a Range Rover Evoque badge on it, and you'll get away with it. Because why? There's still a lot of people out there who will not be able to tell the difference if you remove the badges. But put all that aside, it's not anything else but flattery. Because why? Jaecoo has looked at how beautiful the design language is of the Range Rover Evoque and the Vela and said, hey, I'll tweak it, I'll make it better, I'll make it different, I'll make it seem like it's got more depth in this. But here's the best part, the price. This car was launched after rebate at 102,000 ringgit, 102,000 ringgit in Malaysia. Now that's an amazing price for a compact SUV, 1.5 litre turbocharged engine with 230 Newton meters of torque and a CVT gearbox. 102,000 ringgit, which means it's giving the Toyota Corolla Cross, similar size, and the Proton X50, similar size, similar spec, a real run for their money. At the same time, Jaecoo is competing with its sister brands, which is Chery and OMODA. But they don't care about that. What they care about is they want Malaysians to have a whole variety of choices. And if you look at the spec on this car, which I'm going to share with you shortly, you are going to be amazed. Let's start with the rear. Since we are right at the back right now, let's start with the rear. Now, when you get into the back seat, surprisingly enough room. My height, enough room. This is my seating position in front. A lot of room, very high. You got a full length glass roof here with a sliding cover. 3 people, because it's a flat floor, no problem. You got charging port here. You've got aircon vents here. 1 vent actually. Put down the armrest with the cup holder. 2 people can sit at the back. You've got a native sound system with a woofer in the boot. I'll show you the woofer. I forgot to show it to you just now. They've got a woofer in the boot. So, pretty decent sound system. Not branded. I mean, it's got the Jaecoo name on it, but it's not bad. You got space saver spare tire with your toolkit underneath there. Very impressive luggage area that is sunken a little bit. Now, if you want, you can raise it, of course. But having it sunken means when you put groceries and everything, it doesn't move. Or you can just have this extra space here. That's up to you. Powered, like I said earlier. Let's get back to the rear seat. So 3 average adults at the back, no problem. So it's a family vehicle. Like I said, it competes directly with the Corolla Cross and X50 and the other Chery products. Now, if you look at the tires, now I want to bring your attention. This is 18-inch wheels, two-tone, pretty decent design, but also something which you see in the other Chery products. Now, it's got a Chinese-made tire. Now, recent reports coming out of Europe say that these Chinese-made tires, some of them are actually better than traditional tires. Just like how the car manufacturers in China are getting their cars to be better than some traditional car manufacturers. Get into the driver's seat. Electric, pretty comfortable, nice view out. Everything feels pretty solid, nice material finish. Even on top of the dashboard here, the screen now sits tilted even better angle. Slightly, they should have had a little, cover here, I think, because of the sunlight coming in. That's my only question. Why didn't they have a little cover here? This is now flushed in here. Let me start up the car. So actually the screen here is this size, but because they got a flat panel that runs along the dashboard, it looks like it's part of it. Nicely executed. So you see, with Chinese car manufacturers, what they do is their product development timeline, improvements, very fast, 12 to 16 months. When they come up with a product, they get feedback from the market. 12 to 16 months later, boom, they've got changes made. And why they make changes? Because they want the market to react and tell them what is right and what is wrong. Instead of them coming out with a product and waiting 4 or 5 years for a facelift like with traditional car manufacturers. Wireless charging, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, wireless. A lot of features in this big, beautiful, clear screen. I'll show it to you. Cup holders, cubby area, glove box. They provide you with karaoke wireless microphone because why? You can pair them to the system and you can actually have a karaoke in the car. Why? I don't know. You have 3 physical buttons here. Your driving mode, your emergency and your door lock. Everything else is in here. That's the only gripe I have. Everything else is in here because I like some physical buttons. But you have soft touch panel buttons here, predictive touch. You can change the screen. You can do your connectivity. You can adjust your volume. And you have your drive settings here. Now, I will go into the screen later when we're on the drive mode. I want to talk more about the space in here. Now, I'm going to get into the passenger side. Cameraman, you watch me. Even here, electric seat. Easy to get in and out. Ladies have got a place to put your handbag. Now, it's not very big, so normal size handbag. But if you got one of those bigger handbags, maybe you'll have to, try and make it fit or just put it down there. But it's a decent size space for a normal handbag. Like my wife uses little petite handbags, easily left here, which is out of prying eyes. Start stop button is here. And we should go for a test drive right now. And let me show you this wonderful screen. So I almost forgot, see? Almost forgot to show you the front of this dynamic looking Jaecoo J5. Nice vertical grills, vertical lines on the grill, big opening areas as you see, slim Range Rover like headlamps, and look at that. You don't need to put a stand on it. So it's got a 1.5 liter turbocharged engine. Before I go into that, look at that. It flows right down smoothly, just like it's inspirational vehicle. And that's what we're talking about, inspirational. So you want to know more about this vehicle in terms of technology, in terms of features. Let me share with you some basic information. 4-cylinder engine, 147 PS, 210 Newton meters of torque, Okay, it's running on a CVT gearbox. I know some of you will say, okay, 1.5 litre engine, very similar to what you find in the Proton X50, but a CVT gearbox. The rest of the Jaecoo and Cherry family are not all using a CVT gearbox, but this is using a CVT simply because it's tuned for efficiency and not speed. So you get actually a very refined drive mode when you take it out. I will show you later when you're driving. Very, very simple and straightforward. Now, in terms of dimensions, it's 4,300 mm in length, 1,860 mm in width, 1,650 mm in height, with a 2,620 mm wheelbase. Now, it is actually quite a reasonably sized vehicle. It's sitting on 235/55 R18 tires. Okay, so it's got quite a nice footprint. Now, with all these, new Chinese cars coming from the Chery group, the one thing we got to admire them is connectivity. Now, that large screen I showed you just now is 13.2 inch 2K, that central information display system. The driver gets an 8-inch LCD instrument, and that speaker system is an 8-speaker audio system. Now, in terms of safety, the Jaecoo J5 is fully loaded. 19 ADAS features, 19, and all this for 102,000 ringgit. On top of that, Jaecoo gives a 7-year, 150,000 kilometer factory warranty. So, what are you really worried about when you buy a Jaecoo J5? Nothing really, because why? You got a 1.5 litre engine, fuel consumption will be pretty good, okay? CVT gearbox, it's got a strong warranty, so why you worry about it? Some people I know are very hesitant with CVT gearboxes, but if you got a strong warranty from the factory, why do you worry? And you got this handsome looks and 102,000 ringgit. I keep emphasizing 102,000 ringgit because that's a very, very impressive price point for a petrol powered vehicle this size, this features in Malaysia. And I think the regional countries that are selling this car are also experiencing the same value for money proposition when they compare it with rivals. Next, let's take it for a test drive. So, the moment you start up and take this J5 on the road, within the first minute you realize it's a nice vehicle. Yes, that CVT can be a little bit noisy on hard acceleration, but when you're driving it normally, well insulated, like I said earlier, nice material build, features, it's pretty decent actually, and you're only paying 102,000 ringgit. Very nice ride, good turning radius, responsive. Let's put it in eco mode. Still, it's responsive. It's nippy. Excuse me, I still got a cough. It's nippy. Nice firm brakes. Stops very efficiently. Fantastic screen when you're turning left and right. Speed bumps, hardly felt anything. See, this is what daily drivers want. When they pay money to commute every day in traffic, this is what you want. Comfort, good sound system, easy to use, infotainment system, wireless CarPlay, Android Auto, a drive mode. When the road opens up, you can go into sports mode and pick up. If not, just put it in eco or normal. It's up to you. It's your fuel consumption. 210 Newton meters of torque, more than enough. 1.5 litre engine, fuel efficient, way below 9.5 8.5, I think. That's what they said in the brochure, but you know, I think on average you'll get about 9.5, 8.5, depending the way you drive. We can't tell because, you know, everybody drives in a different cycle, different kind of traffic jam every day. Let me show you some of the functions in this wonderful screen. This is a must show. Just stop here a little while in the shade. Okay, so you've got quick controls. Let me get rid of this. So there's a lot of things you can do. A lot of things you can do, just like with a lot of the car. Vehicle settings, you know, rear tailgate, even your opening height, your wiper service, your automatic lock, your wireless charging, so many things. You just go into it and you'll see all the little functions. Integrated cruise control, lane departure warning, all these safety features. You can switch on and switch off. Look at it, how many warnings you got. Fatigue driving reminder also they have in terms of hours. Okay, ambient color settings, your sound system, whether through the navigation, voice or media. Okay, your systems setting, a lot of things, even your display settings. Now, it's also got voice activation. Hi Jaecoo. Hello Jaecoo. There, it's got. But because this is a brand new car, it's not learned everything yet. Okay, it'll take some time. Sorry, I'm still not sure about that. So the voice activation in this new Chinese vehicles, especially the ones that come from Chery Group, they all take some time to learn. So you have to drive the car, work with it. After some time, a couple of weeks or whatever driving it, it'll already learn all your requirements and your voice control and everything else. Right now, I'm test driving it, so of course it can't recognize a lot of things. Hi Jaecoo. Navigate me to the nearest restaurant. Okay. Probably hasn't got navigation set.
This function is not supported.
Hi Jaecoo. Hi Jaecoo. Hi Jaecoo. Hello Jaecoo.
I'm listening.
Hello Jaecoo. Open.
Hi, may I help you?
Open
Sorry,
window.
I'm still not sure about that.
Open window.
Okay.
There, open my window. Hi Jaecoo. Hello Jaecoo.
I'm here.
Close window. Window is closing. Close window.
Okay.
Hi Jaecoo. Cannot. Hello Jaecoo.
Go ahead.
On radio.
The radio is already on.
Radio already on, but I put my volume down. So, voice activation, a lot of tech in the car, nicely laid out, quality materials, even the plastics are quality, full-length sunroof, 1.5 turbo engine, CVT gearbox, can be a little bit irritating at high speeds, but it's CVT. All CVTs are like that, but fuel consumption pretty decent, comfortable interior, 102,000 ringgit in Malaysia. Go and test drive it and then make a decision whether this is the car for you or should you get something from a legacy automaker.